Hello everyone, this is Nitesh Agrawal. I welcome you all to the lecture of trigonometric angles. In today's lecture, we will know how can we find trigonometric ratio of any given angle. So we all know about the six trigonometric angles, that is sine, cos, tan, and the reciprocal is cosec, sec, and cot. Now suppose if someone asks you what is the value of sine 120 degree, how can we find it? If someone asks us what is the value of cos 480 degree, how can we find it? So no matter what value of sine, cos, cosec, cot, tan, sec is given to you, how can you find trigonometric ratios of any possible given angle? So before going into depth of this concept, we should know first that there are four quadrants when we make a coordinate axis, correct? So whenever we make a coordinate axis, we know that there are always four quadrants. Let me make a coordinate axis here. Suppose this is y axis and this is x axis, or I can say that I'm dividing the angle of 360 degree into four equal parts of 90 degree each. Always this axis is up perpendicular to each other, therefore I can say that I'm dividing this into four quadrants of 90 degree each. Among this will be known as first quadrant, this would be second quadrant, this would be third quadrant here, and after that we will have four quadrant. So naming of the quadrant is done in the anti-clockwise direction. This is how you name the four quadrants. You cannot change the name because it is the convention that we need to follow. Apart from that, in all the four quadrants, the different values of trigonometric ratios we will get depending upon the which quadrant we are finding out. For an example, in first quadrant, all the trigonometric ratios will be positive. In second quadrant, only sine will be positive, and if sine is positive, it is very obvious that cosec is also positive. In the third quadrant, only tan will be positive. So if tan is positive, it's obvious that cot is also positive. In the fourth quadrant, only cos will be positive. So is cos, if cos is positive, then sec is also positive. So basically I'm focusing on sine, cos, and tan, because if you get these three values, you can always find reciprocal and find the next three trigonometric ratios, correct? So I can say that, how can you remember this? You should remember this by using this all sine, tan, cos. So all sine, tan, cos, these are the various trigonometric ratios which are positive in various quadrant. So if someone asks me what is the value of sine 120 degree, so as of now I am not taught you how to find the value, but definitely I can say that 120 degree falls in second quadrant, because this is 90 and 90 plus 30 will give us 120 degree, so it will fall in second quadrant. If it is in second quadrant, then it is very obvious the value of sine will be positive. So now just by knowing the angle, I can comment whether the value is positive or negative. If someone asks me what is the value of tan 420 degree, so tan 420, let's check. If we move from here to a complete circle here, it will become 360 degree, then 360 again plus 60 going once again will give us 420 degree. So again we will come in first quadrant back again, so I can say that the value of tan 420 is positive. What is the value? We do not know as of now, but I can tell surely that it is positive. So this is how you can check whether the given trigonometric value is positive or negative. I hope this concept is clear to you. Now moving to the next concept, how can we find trigonometric ratio of various angles? So before going to various angles, I will just say that the vertical axis is the change axis. Vertical axis is the axis of change. Axis of change is not a technical term. This is just my way to explain you. It means whenever we cross this axis, always we will change the trigonometric ratio. What do I mean by change? By change I mean sine will become cos, cos will become sine, tan will get converted to cot, and cot will get converted to tan. Cosec will get converted to sec, and sec in turn will get converted to cosec. Now what do I mean by all these conversions? I will tell you later in this chapter itself. Just now I've started it, and while going down the line we will know what do I mean by these conversions. But always remember, these conversions will take place whenever we are going about vertical axis. By vertical axis, what do I mean? Suppose 90 plus something, or 90 minus some, or 90 minus something, then 270, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree. So on 90 degree and 270 degree conversions will takes place. Now I'm not concentrating on first quadrant because values of first quadrant you have already studied in your class 10 standard. You have studied it for few standard angles: 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. I hope you all know this values easily, correct? So I'm not focusing on those, and now I will use these values itself to move to other values. Suppose I wanted to find the value of sine 90 plus theta. Theta, let it be any angle here, let it be any angle here, theta. So I am going in anti-clockwise direction, 90 plus theta. I want to find the value of sine 90 plus theta. Always remember 90 degree is the axis of change. So whenever you are having sine 90 plus something, so this will be equivalent to cos theta. Sine 90 plus theta will be equivalent to cos theta, because sine will get converted to cos because we are crossing the axis of 90 degree. And next, about the sign, whether it will be positive or negative. So we know that in second quadrant sine is always positive, so I can say that sine 90 plus theta will be equal to cos theta. Moving to next, if someone asks me what is the value of cos 90 plus theta, then we can see that about, because this 90 degrees present, so cos will change to sine. Now what about the signature, whether minus or plus? So let's check. Cos 90 plus theta means second quadrant. So if it is in second quadrant, then value of cos is negative here. So for cos, I will have to give a minus sign here. Or you should assume that theta is an acute angle, that is, they belong to 0 to 90 degree. Only then these angles will fall in second quadrant. Fine. Moving to next, tan 90 plus theta. How can you calculate the value of tan 90 plus theta? Because 90 is present, so tan will get converted to cot theta, correct? And tan in 90 plus theta means second quadrant. So if we are in second quadrant, then value of tan 90 plus theta will always be negative, correct? So this is how you can find trigonometric ratios of any given angle. Now if I told you to calculate the value of sine 120 degree, if you need to find value of sine 120 degree, then you can write 120 degree as sine 90 plus 30. Fine. Then sine 90 plus theta, it means second quadrant, so value will be positive, and sine 90 is present here, so sine will get converted to cos. So we will have here cos 30 degree. So value of cos 30 degree we already know, that is root 3 by 2. So I can say that value of sine 120 degree is equals to root 3 by 2. This is how we can calculate the trigonometric values of any given trigonometric ratio of any given angles here. Moving to the next point, let me move to the next point here. I will just clear out some spaces here so that we can write it more clearly. Yeah, now we are good to go. So let's now check, what if we go to 180 degree axis. Let's go to axis of 180 degree now. Suppose someone asks you the value of sine 180 minus theta. Please remember that axis 180 degree, that is horizontal axis, is not the axis of change. So sine will remain as it is. Sine 180 minus theta will be sine theta, but 180 minus theta will fall in which quadrant? Always assume theta that I am assuming in this whole chapter is basically an acute angle. So sine 180 minus theta will obviously fall in second quadrant. 180 degree is this, and minus theta is somewhere here, correct? So 180 minus theta will always fall in second quadrant itself. So now I can say that in second quadrant sine is positive, therefore sine 180 minus theta will be equals to sine theta. Similarly, I can say about cos as well. Cos 180 minus theta. Now 180 degrees axis of no change, so cos will remain as it is, and 180 minus theta means second quadrant. In second quadrant cos is negative, so we will put a negative sign here. Similarly, tan 180 minus theta. So tan 180 degrees present, axis of no change, it will remain to tan itself. Now 180 minus theta means second quadrant in which tan is negative, so its value will become minus tan theta. Now let's check the same value which we calculated earlier. I have shown you the example of sine 120 degree, which we calculated using sine 90 plus 30. This was one of the method to calculate, but there are other methods as well. Someone can also write 120 as 180 minus 60, correct? So this method should also work. If we write 180 minus theta, then this will be equals to sine theta itself, because 180 degrees axis of no change, and 180 minus theta means second quadrant will sine is positive, so I can say that is equivalent to sine 60 degree, and that is always equals to root 3 by 2. So again we got exactly the same answer that we got earlier when we applied 90 plus 30 degree. So this is how we can find for 180 minus theta. Similarly, moving to, suppose if someone asks me what is the value of sine 180 plus theta. Again we know that 180 degree is axis of no change, so 180 plus theta will again be equals to sine 180 sine theta, but 180 plus theta lies in third quadrant where sine is negative, so we are finding the value of sine here. I will have to apply a negative sign here. Similarly, cos 180 plus theta, 180 degrees axis of no change, so we will write here cos theta. In third quadrant cos is also negative, so I will apply a negative sign here. Then we have tan 180 plus theta, so 180 tan 180 means no change, it will remain as it is tan, and tan 180 plus theta means third quadrant where tan is positive, so its value will remain as it is. I hope the concepts are being a bit more clear to you now. Suppose someone asks us to find the value of, let me just rub it out and write it more clearly. If someone asks me to find the value of cos 240 degree, how can we find 240 degree? We can write 240 degree as 180 plus 60, correct? 180 plus 60, so cos 180 means no change, it will remain cos itself, but 180 plus theta means third quadrant in which cos is negative, so this will be equals to minus cos 60 degree, and we know that the value of cos 60 is 1 by 2, so minus cos 60 will be minus 1 by 2. This is how we calculated the value of cos 240 degree. I hope you are understanding the concepts. In case of any doubts, feel free to contact us by commenting below. After that, let's move to next concept, sine. Suppose let's move to here to let's move to 270 degree now. Let's move to 270 degree now. So value of sine 270 plus, let's start with minus theta first. After that we will go to plus theta. Let's stay in third quadrant for now. So sine 270 minus theta. Again 270 means axis of change. You have seen here already that 90 degree, 270 degree, these are just vertical axis, this is axis of change. So I can write for sine now 270 minus theta, first of all it will become cos theta. Since we are 270 minus theta we are considering, then it is in third quadrant, so value of sine will be negative, therefore I will put a negative sign here. Similarly, cos 270 minus theta, 270 degrees axis of change, so it will be equals to sine theta. Now 270 minus theta is in third quadrant where cos is negative, so we will apply a negative sign here. Similarly, for tan 270 minus theta, tan will get converted to cot, so I will have to write cot here, and 270 minus means third quadrant where tan is positive, so it will remain cot theta itself. Now let's consider the same example. We need to find the value of cos 240 degree. Cos 240 degree can also be written as 270 degree minus 30 degree, correct? So if cos 270 means axis of change, so this will become this will become equals to sine 30 degree. This will become equals to sine 30 degree, and in third quadrant cos is negative, so we will have to apply a negative sign here, and value of sine 30 is 1 by 2. So again we got the same value as we have calculated in this case as well. So I hope now you are able to understand about the 270 degree axis also. Let me move ahead giving you few more examples. Cos 270 plus theta, so sine 270 plus theta, cos 270 plus theta, and tan 270 plus theta. Try to do it on your own by pausing the video. Let me do it here for you. So for sine 270 plus theta, 270 is axis of change, so it will become cos theta, and in fourth quadrant sine is negative, so this will become minus cos theta. Cos 270 plus theta, 270 degrees axis of change, so this will be equals to sine theta, and plus theta means going to the fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant cos is positive, so it will remain as it is. Similarly, tan 270 plus theta will get converted to cot theta, and fourth quadrant tan is negative, so it will become minus cos cot theta, correct? Let's move to the axis of 360 degree now. Let's move to axis of 360 degree. So I can say that sine 360 plus theta cos, let's start with minus theta first, minus theta, then cos 360 minus theta, and then tan 360 minus theta. correct? So sine 360 minus theta, now 360 degree minus theta will lie in fourth quadrant, and 360 degrees axis of no change, it is a horizontal axis. We know that this is 360 degree here, so this is an horizontal axis, means axis of no change, so sine will remain to sine itself, and 360 minus theta is in fourth quadrant where sine is negative, so we will have to apply a negative sign here. Cos 360 minus theta will be equals to cos theta, and positive sign because in fourth quadrant cos is positive. Similarly, tan 360 minus theta is equals to tan theta with a negative sign because in fourth quadrant tan is negative. So this is how you can calculate trigonometric values of any given angle. Now what if the value more than 360 degrees given to you? Suppose you have been given the value of you need to find value of sine 240. So you should always consider how many rounds you can have, that is in terms of 360 degree. We can write it as sine 360 plus 60. So in 360 degree we are completing a round, it means it is obviously equals to sine 60 degree. So this is how you can calculate the value of any given trigonometric angle. I hope the concepts are very much clear to you now. In case of any doubts, feel free to contact me.